Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to address this issue via the audio only, simply because of the environment where I am right now. One thing I want us to have a discussion is the putative bill that President William Ruto signed into law when the news of Raila Odinga resurfaced in the country. While the country was mourning and paying tribute to the late legendary man, a statesman who brought democracy to this country, the president was busy in State House signing 8 laws or 8 bills into laws. And among the 8 bills that president signed is the Cybercrime Bill into law. The bill that was secretly passed in a parliament is now a law in Kenya. The aim of this cybercrime bill is to limit your audience online. Currently, if you tweet something about the government or even somebody senior in government, they have the capacity to delete and just remove that post or even remove your account entirely. If you make some remarks that will fall or somebody will say it is insensitive or damaging, then be ready to pay up to 20 million in form of damages. You know, that is how serious this bill is. As Kenyans continue to mourn the late Right Honorable Raila Odinga CGH, the government, through the cybercrime bill, now has limited the use and expression of freedom. In Kenya, the 2010 Constitution guarantees freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and freedom of association, among so many rules and laws entrenched in the 2010 Constitution. The reason why President William Ruto, through his MPs in Parliament, came up with this cybercrime law is because of the 2024 GenZ protest. Remember that time, Gen Zs even went ahead and create imageries that symbolizes a President William Ruto was being laid in a coffin. I remember very well, there are some young men who were arrested and taken into and they were taken into and they were taken by the perceived men in uniform, and later they were released. The government aimed at reducing such freedom from Kenyans, particularly the Gen Zs, who have always find their way to mobilize themselves online and storm the streets demanding justice and rights. Currently, if you tweet something or you post something on Facebook or even on YouTube, a way of doing a mobilization, the government has the authority to remove that post in immediate effect. Now, the Cybercrime Act, which is now law, but has been stopped temporarily by High Court. A number of young Kenyans, whom they call themselves tribeless tribe, yesterday stormed the High Court in assistance with the civil organization groups and the freedom fighting groups in this country, and launch a complaint in courts. And the High Court temporarily stopped the implementation of that bill into law. Here are the tribeless tribe after they came out of the High Court. They had this to say.
We still hope for a better Kenya, but now we come here to Milimani Law Court to challenge the recent controversial bills that were actually signed into law by the President of the Republic of Kenya, which denies the Kenyan people the freedom of speech, which is our constitutional right. And we know very well that freedom of speech is not just a right, but it is a test. And if this freedom only protects the popular opinion, then that is not freedom. And that is why the young people of the Republic of Kenya, we will not be quiet. This great afternoon, we have actually filed a petition to challenge this. And we want to say, we are going to use all the conventional and constitutional means possible to make sure that we fight for the justice and to make sure that the rights of Kenyans will not be sabotaged by individuals in power. And we want to tell the people in power, political class, we know you are being misused to pass bills that sabotage the Kenyan people. The current administration does not want criticism, and that is why you are deploying all crafty measures to make sure that you silence we, the young people. But we want to tell you, a new dawn for Kenya is coming. We will not sit down and watch you try to oppress us. Enough is enough. And Mr. President, prepare for it, because this bill, the ones you signed into law, until you revoke it, we are saying we are going to get back until we see this bill being dropped. Thank you very much. And now, actually, let me welcome our national coordinator so that he actually put in his inputs.
Haya, asanteni sana. Kwa majina anaitwa Joshua Nyanjo, actually the coordinator of Vibe Tribe. Sisi kama vijana tunaelewa katiba yetu article 33 of the 2010 constitution na article 35. Article 33 it gives us freedom of speech, na article 35 inatupatia hiyo freedom to access the information. Sisi kama vijana tutaka kumwambia rais, hatutakubali yeye kupitisha sheria ile inazidi kutukandamiza na kutetea wale matajiri wachache wenye wanaishi Kenya. Sisi kama vijana ndio kwa maana leo umeona sisi tumeungana hapa Milimani Court kueleza wananchi na kuwaambia vijana wenzetu waungane na sisi pamoja, kwa maana tumeleta hii petition hapa ili kutetea wale vijana, kwa sababu tumeangalia saizi nchi yetu vijana wengi, kwanza hawa wa GenZ wanatumia mtandao ili kutetea ama kutoa hoja zao kwa nchi. Na hiyo ndo rais ameona kuwa ili kupata vijana lazima apitishe hizi sheria ambazo zitazuia vijana ili kufanya nini, kutotoa mahoja ama kutetea haki zao. Na sisi kama vijana hatutakaa nyuma ama hatutasalia nyuma tukiona nchi yetu, kwa maana wale waliotutangulia walipigania sana ili sisi kupata hizi haki, na tutakubali sisi kufanywa ni kudhalilishwa, ila hali tunajua tuko na haki ya kuongea na kutetea nchi yetu, kwa sababu rais anajua vijana wa saizi wameamka, na tutamwambia bado mapambano, kwa sababu sisi tangu mwaka jana tumejua tukipigania hizi mambo za accountability, good governance, end of corruption, na yeye mwenyewe ndio mmoja anaongeza kuni na kuteua wale majamaa tunawaambia wako na bad wako na hizi characters zenye tunazikataa. Sasa sisi kama vijana hatutakubali ama hatutabaki nyuma ama hatutasalia nyuma, tutapigania hadi tuone hiyo bili yenye rais alikuwa ametia sahihi ameiangusha vile aliangusha ile finance bill iliyopita. Vijana tuambia
Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna has been one of the person to have spotted the hidden intention on this cybercrime bill. And according to Sifuna, that is a way of silencing people from expressing what they fear or they feel about the government. Sifuna now has said that he has seek a special sittings at the Senate for them to have a discussion and elaborate on the cybercrime bill. I'm a man who has been online most of the time, and I've seen and read comments from those perceived to have read the Cybercrime Act or bill that is yet to be passed into law. That there are some subsections that are being perceived to be putative, and they will have to undermine Kenyans if indeed it goes to be a law in Kenya. One thing about this government of President William Ruto is that now they have powers to do whatever they want. Even signing those bills into law is only to tame the voices of the young Kenyans who are concerned about how this country is being run. They have yet forgotten that today you might be the chess master. You might be on top of government, but come tomorrow, things might not change. The weather today might favor you, but tomorrow it might not. The signing of those 8 bills into law favors the Kenya Kwanza government, particularly how they will operate and how they operate this government. Because this government is being run like an household. Everybody for himself at the expense of Kenyans. Indeed, it was a way of confusing Kenyans when the death rules of Raila Odinga occurred. The government actually saw an opportunity to sign into law. And if the government did not sign into law, they had no other chance or any other time to sign those bills into law. It could have resulted into another demonstration by young Kenyans. You know, Kenyans online right now are saying when the dust settles for Right Honorable Raila Odinga, they will now have a serious discussion and bring a way forward after the government signed those bills into law.